Hello everyone, this is Stephanie. Welcome to another video. So the last couple of videos we did this star bezel and then we did the bracelet to go with it. And I got a comment asking, well, this star bezel is a 14mm Rivoli. Can we do it with a 12mm? And I thought, well, why not? So let me pull in. Here it is. So cute, it's much smaller. Very cute, makes a very, I love it as an earring. You can do anything you want with it. So I figured let's go ahead and do the 12mm. So this will be a pretty quick video. However, before we go on, I want to share a few things with you, some stuff that's coming up. So if you just want to start the video and you don't want to see what's coming up, then I'll put a timestamp in the description box below the video so you know you can just switch to that, just fast forward, whatever, to that part. So I just wanted to show you what's coming up. So we're going to do a modified right angle weave bezel. Look at this. So we've been having so much fun with modified right angle weave, so I made a bezel. It's not hard, it's actually very easy. And this is what the back looks like. Here's the front. So pretty, so much fun. I think you'll find it very easy. We're having so much fun with modified right angle weave that I just wanted to do a bezel. I think this is going to be sort of my holiday necklace. Haven't decided yet what I'm going to do with it. It's going to involve this, and it might be, I might hold it horizontally instead of like this. I'm not sure yet. And maybe something with this, and then a really like chunky chain around the neck. I'm not sure, but it's definitely going to involve one of these guys. And I think I'm going to do it in this sapphire. Just sharing a little right now. Like I said, you can switch. And I'm going to use some, and I want to incorporate these beads from the Eureka Crystal Beads, the Moonshadow collection. These gorgeous navies. I really want to incorporate these drops, all of these. I think they're so pretty. And I'm going to do it with gold because I like the contrast of the deep blue and gold. So this is going to be coming up pretty soon because if you want to do it for the holidays, I want to give you time to make everything. So just giving you a little heads up, that's coming up. I have some 2-hole bead projects coming up. I'm using iris duos or what are they, diamond duos, and a whole bunch of stuff. So we've got quite a few things coming up. But for right now, we're going to just do these earrings. So I'm going to clear this off, get a materials list going, and we'll get started. Okay, so you'll need 2 12mm Rivolis, some 11/0 Delicas, 15/0 seed beads, 11/0 seed beads, a little stop bead. You'll need some sort of ear wire, a 8-pound Fireline. I'm using black satin, size 11 or 12. 12 is a good idea to have around. Beading needle. I'll put all the colors, all the sizes, how much you need of everything, where to purchase the materials in the description box below the video. So don't forget to click the down arrow or the show more. I know you know the drill. Don't forget Ringberry's bead mat, the big bead mat that I have on my table. 10% discount code is always available for you. Just check out, the code down there. Here's the No More Oops bead tray. I'm going to clear the decks and we'll get started. Okay, so thread your needle with about 30 inches of thread, maybe a little less. Put on a stop bead and leave about a 10-inch tail because we're going to use that tail to do the back of the bezel. 10, 12 inches. Let's see, what do I have? Yeah, I have about 10 inches. That should be fine. So I've put on my needle and dropped down to my stop bead 30 Delicas. I'm going to sew through the first 2 past my stop bead to form a circle. Just like that. I'll pull in as much as I can without blurring too much. Let me pull these over here. Okay, now we're just going to do our sort of standard peyote bezel. So pick up a Delica, exiting a Delica, skip the next Delica, and sew through the following one. Make sure that bead pops up on the previous bead. Pick up a Delica, exiting here, skip this one, sew through the next one. Like that. Just going to do that all the way around until you get to the end, and then we'll stop. Coming down to my last bead. So exiting here, skip this guy, sew through the next one and the one on the diagonal. Now we have the Delicas on. So now we're going to pick up some 15-0s. We're going to put a 15-0 on in between each Delica, like this. And see how I'm holding my thumb, my nail, sort of on my thumb right there at the edge, and I'm giving a little bit of a pull, not super tight, but it will automatically make it curve a little bit by doing that, and it keeps it nice and round. Right, so do that all the way around, and then I'll be coming down to the end. I have a couple of beads to put on. There, so now I'm going to step up. So I'm going to sew through this one and the one on the diagonal. To step up. Now I'm going to add another round of 15-0s. So one 15-0, sew through the next. Sticking out 15-0, 15-0, sew through the next. Sticking out 15-0, and a little tip here, if you want to keep it nice and snug, see what I did? I put it on my forefinger and I gave it a little pull, and see how it pulls the 15-0s together? And then I'll just continue beading and giving it just a little pull. And see how it stays in shape, it stays roundish because of my finger, and the beads all pull together nicely. Okay, so get that done, we'll come back. Putting on my last bead, so I'm exiting this 15-0, so I'm going to sew through the next 15-0 and the one on the diagonal. So I'm going to place my last bead on. That's what it looks like. Okay, let me just back off a teeny bit. So let's just see how the bezel is looking. So that's going to be the front. It's not going to stay right now. That's how it's going to look. Here's the back. So what I've done at this point is I've taken, so we're going to work on the back a little bit. So just leave that thread and that needle if you want. If you have another needle, take the stop bead off the tail thread and thread a needle, or just, switch the needles. And we're going to put some 15-0s on the back. So here I'm just holding it between my thumb and forefinger, and I'm putting on, I'm sewing through each sticking out Delica, putting on a 15-0, just like we did on the other side. Okay, so I'm going to just do that all the way around, and then I'm going to step up and do it again. So two rounds on the back. And as you're doing it, just a little tip. So here's my 15-0, sewing through the next Delica, and I'm pulling inward a little bit. And that's always really good way to keep everybody even and nice, and it makes the bezel nice and round. So see how I'm pulling in, not super tight, but just a little. So do that first round, step up, do the second round, and then we'll continue. Okay, almost done with the back. So here I'm just going to step up. So here, exiting that little 15-0, going to sew through this one and the one on the diagonal. Okay, now you're really done on the back, so you can just sew on the diagonal till you get to the Delicas. So here I'm just sewing through this 15-0 and then on to the Delicas. Just moving my thread around, just on the diagonal so no thread shows. And if you're loose, if your bezel is super loose, you can always sew all the way around again. I'm just going to reverse direction. So see when I'm exiting this bead right here. So if you're not, just, you just move on the diagonal until you're exiting one of these where there are two beads sitting next to each other. This is reversing direction like that. And then back this way. And then down through this one. And that kind of locks it into place. Then you can just clip off that thread. All right, so just get to that point and then we'll continue. Here we are. So here's the back. It's done. Here's the front. So here's the thread that's on the front, and we're exiting an up bead. We're sticking out bead. Now we're going to do the star pattern. So you just pick up a 15-0. Let's see if I can pull in super tight for this. And then just sew through the next sticking out bead. So the 15-0 right here. pick up a 15-0, sew through the next sticking out bead. We've put 2 beads on. Now I want to move my thread over, so I'm just going to take my needle and thread, no beads. I'm going to sew through the bead on the diagonal, and then the next one on the diagonal, so that's this one. I'm going to add a 15-0. So just through the next sticking out bead. So we're making the points, the inner points now. Pick up another 15-0, so through the next sticking out bead, like that. So now I've put 2 beads on here and 2 here, so we're gonna do that all the way around, then we're gonna add a bead in the center, and that's gonna make all the points. So here I'll just go through them one more time. So here, exiting this bead, I'm going to sew through this one, and this one. I'm just going on the diagonal to move my thread in position. Put on a 15-0. One more time. Another 15-0. Don't worry about it if they pop up a bit. You can just press them down with your finger. Like that. And you see how the star is starting to emerge a bit? So just do that all the way around. So through this one, the one on the diagonal, you want to put two beads again, and just till you get to the end, and then we'll continue. Coming down to the end, and I'm putting my last 2 beads on. So here I put these 2 on, I move my thread to here. So through this guy. And the next one. Okay, and now I have, see what looks like the star, but we have to add a point in here. So here, all of these, in between these 2 beads, groups of 2, we're going to add a bead. So we just need to move our needle over again. So to do that, we just want to move it so the thread is coming out here. Make sure I'm in frame. So I'm just going to sew through the 2 beads on the diagonal, or one at a time, it doesn't matter. And then this one. So just moving my thread over so I can add another bead. To pick up a 15-0. Sew through that next 15-0. Whoops. I twisted when I got my thread caught. Okay, there we go. Like that. Now I'm going to move my thread over again. So here I'm coming out of this 15-0. I just want to sew through these 2. Everything is on the diagonal, and then this one, and then up through this one, pulling inward, pick up a 15-0, sew through the next 15-0. I hope that was all in frame. See how this star is emerging? Here, we'll do it one more time in case I messed it up. Okay, through the next 2 on the diagonal, and then through this one, and then up through this one, sew through the next 15-0 to place a bead in that, on that point. And I'm just kind of pressing them down and giving a little pull. Okay, just like that. So then, oops, then continue that until you have a bead in between each of the 2. So we have a couple more to do. And then come on back and look back. So I have moved my thread so I'm coming out of a center Delica. See that? And I'm using it right above the point, but you really have to do that. I'm just going to attach here, and I'm going to do a very simple attachment. So I'm just going to pick up an 11-0, my wire, and an 11-0. I'm just going to sew through the other side of that Delica, like that. Sew through everybody again. You could do any attachment here you like. Like that. So pretty much just like that. Then I'm going to sew through a number of Delicas just to tighten everybody up. So on the diagonal, as we always do. I just think that this ear wire is so pretty on its own that it doesn't really need any embellishment. So here I'm just sewing through a number of Delicas just to tighten it up, and I'm going to reverse direction to lock it in place. So here I've reversed direction, that kind of locks it in place, and there you go. That's what it looks like. Now you can leave it like this, or you can do the stitch in the ditch. Now, oops, let me pull back one. There you go. So you can, at this point, you know, sew through a few more beads, reverse direction. Just you want to make sure it's on nice and snug. Okay, so that's like so. I'm just going to continue on with this thread. So here, I'm just going to sew through this, so I'm coming out of a center Delica, and then I'm just going to pick up, I don't know, what did I use on this? I used 15-0s. So I'm just going to pick up a 15-0. You can use 11, should we try 11-0s? Let's try. Give it a bigger, so here I'm going to do a little stitch in the ditch. So let me back up, sorry about that. So here I'm coming out of the center bead. I just picked up an 11-0 and I just hopped over to the next one. I'll do it again. So I'm exiting the center bead. Here's the ditch. Just sew through this one. Like that. I'm going to do that all the way around. Oops. Actually I split my thread. So just do that all the way around. You're going to skip, you know, sew through the, you know, through the Delicas, so you go around these guys, and then, you know, continue until you have your stitches in the ditch all the way around, and then come on back and we'll continue. I'm just going to rethread my needle. I just wanted to, you know, just go around this just to show you. So when you get to this point, I'm going to do a stitch in the ditch right up till there, and then you just, at this point, you just want to sew on the diagonal. So I'm just going to sew through this little 15-0, or actually, let's see, is there a better one to sew on the diagonal? We could actually go, well, that's fine. I'm going to go through that little 15-0. If you can't get through that one, go through the Delica, and then through this one. Just moving my needle like that, and then I want to make sure that I want to come out. Which bead do I want to come out? Here, here. So I want to come out this one. So I'm just going to sew through this one on the diagonal. So I'm just moving my needle around so I can get another bead on. And then I want to do my stitch in the ditch right here. Like that. Is that even? Yep. And then my last stitch in the ditch is going to go through this guy. Alright, and then I have my entire earring all done. Alright, so then of course you're just going to keep sewing around the Delicas just to make sure everything is nice and even. I think that's so cute with the, I like it with the 11-0 stitch in the ditch. So we have it in several different versions here that you can play with. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you have fun making this, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.